Welcome to the Monday update again. And sad to say that I am bringing this from a quarantine edition again. We have another Monday update in quarantine. And I am happy to say that the things I threatened yesterday did not actually come to pass. I have not thrown any of my shoes, and I have not lost my mind in any way more so than I had before. Hey, we do have 4 topics today, but no worries. They come at no extra charge. So 4 topics for the price of 3 today. And let's jump right in. Number 1 is we are still having trunk or treat. And that happens Saturday from 4 to 6, and we could use you. The weather looks like it's going to be amazing. I almost hesitate to say that because you never know what can change between now and then. But right now, the forecast is very good for Halloween night. And we're going to be there from 4 to 6. So the sun should still be up because we'll still be on daylight time. And we change over Saturday night, Sunday morning. And then we'll be back on standard time. But we're going to have trunk or treat, and we could use your help. We need as many cars as we can get. We understand that'll be a concern for some folks. So if you have the opportunity to come, the availability, we encourage you to come. We do have lots of candy. So if you could bring a trunk, but you think, man, I can't get that much candy, you bring what you can and we will supply the rest. And we would love to have as many people as possible because the more cars we have, the better experience it is for our community to come through. We could provide tables. You saw some of the delivery systems and all of that. So we want you to come out and be a part. Halloween night, that's Saturday coming up, this Saturday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. That means everybody needs to be here in the parking lot by hopefully 3:30 so we can get everything set up and ready for our trunk-or-treaters to come through. You join us for that. So number 2 then would be our Bible study, our DivorceCare study that is coming up next week. And so our ladies will start a week from today on November 2nd, and our men will start a week from Wednesday on November 4th. And there's a little event coming up between those 2 dates. Of course, our election comes up on November 3rd, and certainly encourage everyone to go vote. It is an important part of our civic responsibility. But that's just for free. Really talking about the DivorceCare study. Rachel Timmerman's going to lead the ladies, and Brother Frank's going to lead the guys. He'll be out of quarantine by then. And so we want you to come and be a part of that. I believe the ladies meet at 6 and the guys meet at 7. Both of those are going to start. The location for both of those starting out will be in what we have called the cry room, but that seems odd for an adult study. So we hope there'll be no crying. We'll call that our sanctuary overflow, where our auditorium, the windows there. So if you come in on our south entrance there towards the cemetery, and you would normally go right into the back door of the auditorium, that door just to the right of there, you walk straight through there, and one more door straight ahead of you, you'll be in that room. So if you want to join us, you come ahead, reach out to Rachel or our office or Brother Frank to let them know that you'll be attending. Any of those will work, that we'll communicate with each other. And so we would delight in you coming and being part of this if it is a study that applies to you. That is, that you are going through or have been through a divorce. And if you know someone who you think would benefit, well, by all means, let them know. We would love to have folks from our community who are not necessarily part of our church yet come into this study, and they'd be more than welcome. All right, number 3 is at the end of next week. So this Saturday is Halloween and trunk or treat. Next Saturday, that is I guess this Saturday is kind of the next Saturday. But anyway, November 7th, we will have a time of prayer and fasting. And I know Ben has more to say about this and is going to probably address you maybe in next week's update. We'll have a time for him to explain a little more about that. But I want to say a word about that and encourage you again to be a part of this and to try out. If you have never before, we'll be a little brave and try out the fasting part of this. As Ben said, there are some people, particularly those suffering from diabetes or hypoglycemia, either end of that spectrum, for whom fasting is a bad idea health-wise. And we understand that. And we're not asking you to do that if it's medically unwise for you. We do ask that you find something, as Ben said, give up to reinforce this idea. But for the rest of us, fasting is something that just focuses our mind and heart in a unique way. It's not something we do to say, hey, God, pay attention to us. We know God hears our prayers in any case. But I can tell you from my limited experience with fasting that it does focus my mind and heart in an unusual way. And so we're going to come together with some purposes in mind, and Ben has drawn up that agenda. I'm really excited about this. I hope you'll come join us at 8 o'clock. We'll be there for an hour, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Saturday, September the 7th. And we would love to have you join us for that as well. Obviously, that's why we put these things on the Monday updates. But this is kind of a special emphasis of our prayer and fasting. Really am excited about getting this started. All right, I think that's 3 topics. So topic number 4 is kind of the plan for next week and a special addendum to that. This Sunday, we've kind of gotten together and talked about what we're going to do. We are going to have in-person services, and no, Vonda wouldn't take the suggestion of her preaching, but we have some plans for how to minister in a unique way, I think. So I want you to come. We're going to have live services, and we'll be gathered together as a church. Obviously, some of us will have to lay out. We're going to join some videos and some other things we've got in mind to make a service that hopefully will be a meaningful worship service, but also will be a little bit unique way as we kind of engage these challenges that we're in right now. But we'll have service scheduled. The service schedule Sunday will be just like it has been. We'll have 8 o'clock, 9:30 at our mass required service, and 11 o'clock, and then we'll have evening service as well. About that, I have encouraged you several times, and we have stayed with the encouragement thing. We do not have a mask mandate in our services other than 9:30. You do have to wear a mask if you're going to come to 9:30. But I want to redouble this and encourage you to wear a mask. We believe strongly, my wife and I, that one of the reasons our son with special needs did not contract the coronavirus at our previous exposure is because when he was exposed through my mom, she was wearing a mask and gloves. Now, of course, we believe that God protected him and I, and we would never discount the Holy Spirit. But we know that frequently God uses our good sense and our medical professionals and medical advice. And we are very thankful for her wearing a mask. And that certainly informs our feelings about how we behave toward each other at church. And so I know there's differences of opinion on here. I can just tell you our own experience seems to suggest that they work. And I would further say that while we have spent some time in Callaway and Cole and Boone counties, particularly in our setting in Callaway County, with our numbers being low back in the spring, I'm sure some folks rightly thought, man, we're doing all this and it's not even here. Well, I would encourage us not to go to sleep right now. Our numbers are up. Our hospital beds are being occupied. Our caseload is coming up. I'm hugely grateful that our fatality rate is going down. But we simply don't know very well who this is going to affect all the time. And I understand the debate about underlying conditions. Fact is, we don't always know who has underlying conditions. And so in an effort to love one another, I want us to be extra vigilant about maintaining our appropriate social distance. And I would like to encourage those of you who have resisted wearing masks in our service to rethink that. Because we do have coronavirus in our midst, as we have well known now, and in our church services. So it's tough because in this case, we are evidently contagious before we exhibit symptoms. Most every other illness that I know of that we've talked about is like when you start evidencing symptoms, that's when you're contagious. This appears to be a new thing. And so we don't always know who is contagious. And so we cannot let our guard down. And we've enjoyed a great blessing for a long time of not having high numbers in our area. that's kind of changing now. Our numbers are heading in the wrong direction. So I want to encourage you to please strongly consider wearing a mask while you're in church, coming and going, and while we're singing. When you're seated and socially distanced, no reason for it then, no benefit to it. So, and obviously that's still true. But if at all possible, I would strongly encourage you, implore you, in fact, to be vigilant with this so we can keep it away from our church and as few people as possible be infected. Of course, consider that when you're out and about too, but particularly when you come into worship, that we can all be safe and love one another in that way. I'll see you soon. Won't be with you in person Sunday, but I'll see you then too. You come and find out how all of that goes.